Okay, so your question was, if you are dealt 2 cards successively without replacement from a standard 52 card deck, find the probability of getting 2 black cards. Excuse me. Okay, so first of all, we have 2 cards being drawn. Okay, so the probability of a black card would be, there are 13 spades and 13 clubs out of a total of 52 cards, right? So that's going to be 26 out of 52 that are the first one, the first draw, okay? But then remember, you took one out, right? So your next draw would be out of it, you didn't replace it, so your next draw was out of 51 cards. So assuming that that one was a black card, we went from 26 possible black cards to 25 cards. Okay, so here's how it would look then, and so then we just have to figure out the math. So as far as figuring out the math, you can multiply them and then reduce. I prefer to reduce first. So 26 over 52 is 1/2. So if I multiply across the top, I get 25. And if I multiply across the bottom, I get 102. So that's how we get that particular answer. Okay, the other question you asked was the tree diagram. Construct a tree diagram that shows all possible outcomes when 2 coins are tossed. Okay. So I have to look at it for a second. You have 2 coins, right? So if you toss this coin right here, it can either be heads or it can be tails. And if you my question was it at the same time? So this, just looking through the answer choices, excuse me. The first thing that when we toss that first coin, get my colors back. There's my coin, right? It can either be heads or tails. That's all it can be. So that's my first one. Now, let's say the first one was heads. If the first one was heads and then we toss the second one could then be heads or it can be tails. Or if it was the first one was tails, then the second one could be heads or tails. So your answer choices would actually, that's what the tree would look like. But your answer choices would actually look like this. Your first one could be a head. And if it was a head, then the second one could also be a head. Or if your first one was a head, you could have a head and then a tail. Okay? Your other one was, what happens if you dealt with a tail first? Well, then you could do a head and then a tail and then a head, or you could do a tail and a tail. So these are your 4 possible outcomes. I don't think it asks you that till later, but these are your 4 possible outcomes. So again, let me try to explain that a little bit better. So you have a coin. You throw it up in the air. It can be a head or it can be a tail. Okay, now I don't know which one it was because we didn't really throw it, right? It's all possibilities. So let's say it happened to be a head. Well, then you flipped it again, right? So if it was a head and you flipped it again, your probability would be head or tail. Now, let's say it happened to be a tail and you flipped it again, then your choices there were also a head or a tail. And so this is what the diagram would look like. See if that helps a little.